Hi everyone, it's Don and I hope you're having a fantastic day. Well, today I thought I'd give you some tips about your next cruise and some things that maybe you thought about or you're not doing and some things maybe you are doing. And if we can get everyone doing some of these things, it'll make your cruise and everyone's cruise go a little bit smoother. Number one tip, we're coming into the winter season, folks. Snowstorms can affect your cruise even if you're in a place that doesn't have snow. Because your plane might be coming from that destination to take you to where you want to go. So don't assume just because you're in a place that doesn't snow that you're safe and your planes won't be delayed or canceled. Snowstorms will delay flights right across North America. So yes, whenever possible, fly in the day before. Find yourself a Motel 6. Find yourself a cheap hotel if you're worried about the costs. Just something clean you can stay in, and then bang, you're there. You don't have to worry that your flight's gonna get canceled and you miss the entire cruise. I preach it over and over again. Fly in the day before. Secondly, don't overpack. I don't know how many people overpack. Angelina, you're watching this video. I'm calling you out on this one. She overpacks on every cruise we go on. Every cruise. And half the stuff in her suitcase she never touches. And that, I know, is a way for a lot of people. They're afraid they're going to forget something and leave something behind that they might want, and then they're carrying around extra luggage and being charged for extra luggage on your flights and, you know, baggage handling, and it's just an inconvenience. Learn to pack for your trip. You should really only ever have one suitcase. I just went on a 7-day cruise, one suitcase. I'm going away for 21 days next, one suitcase. You can get your laundry done on a cruise ship or your other destinations. You can get by. You don't need to carry a billion things like 14 pairs of shoes when you're going on a 7-day cruise. You just don't. So don't overpack. That's a big one. Here's a tip that's just kind of come up over the last 5 or 6 years. Watch videos of your destination that you're going to. Some places you'll say, oh, here's a nice tour of the next beach that in a destination I'm going to. And then you realize that, hey, they just said that the beach is literally a 5-minute taxi drive away and it costs them $6 to get there. And then when you get on the cruise ship, you'll see that exact excursion by bus and they're charging you $89 for it. So you can save a ton of money just by watching tip videos on different destinations and different excursions. Almost every single excursion, ship, etc. is covered out there somewhere. Hotels, where to stay. You know, best hotels to stay in Fort Lauderdale. You can find those videos on YouTube. And you can judge for yourself because you can see the condition of the hotel room. They'll tell you where it's near. They'll tell you what's there to eat. You can see all this stuff. It's the wonderful age of YouTube, folks, where you can find almost anything online. And I watch, I'm going to Universal Studios. I watched a ton of videos now on Universal Studios to pick up some tips because I haven't been there in 39 years. And so I'm taking my own advice. Next is book your cabin that you're comfortable with. And what I mean by that is, you hear somebody say, don't book near an elevator, but then you have a hard time walking and you can't walk very far. But people told you it's really noisy by elevators. Sometimes that depends on the cruise line, right? If a cruise line is, not full of partiers and not full of a lot of kids and that, being by the elevator is usually fine, right? If it's on a mostly adult, over 50 type cruise, near an elevator, you won't hear too many people. You won't hear a lot of noise coming from the elevator. And being 1 or 2 cabins down from the opening is perfectly fine. So book a cabin that's comfortable for you and where you think you will enjoy. Don't necessarily go with the standard. Oh, I have to be midship, I have to be middle floor, and I have to be right there. Because I book in the aft of the ship all the time, because sometimes I'm saving $100-200 booking near the rear of the ship, and it's just as comfortable to me as it is being midship. The only thing I make sure I'm not near, the pool deck, above entertainment, and I'm not near any bars or anything like that that the ship might have. Other than that, I'll stay where it's cheaper. Here's one that should go for every vacation you take. Don't overdo it. We just did our Canada cruise to New England and Canada out of New York, and boy, we were going somewhere every single day. But, you know, my friend Tony, who was with me, hadn't been to any of these ports before. I was born in one of those ports that we went to, and I vacationed in a lot of them myself, so I was used to them, but we wanted to head out and show all the different ports, so we were go, 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 go. And around day 7, it started to go, okay, when's the cruise over almost? Because we were exhausted. We were go, go, go every second. And then we'd get back to the ship and we're running to see the shows and we're running to do the game shows and we're running to see comedians. We're running to do everything. And then we get back to our cabin and we just dropped because we had overdone it. We literally overdone it. It's okay to spend a day on a cruise ship once in a while. It's okay to only book 1 excursion, even though you have time for 2. You don't have to book 9-hour excursions. You can book a 3-hour excursion. You can just get off the ship and wander around and get back on when you feel like it. You don't have to overdo it because you will find you'll need a vacation from your vacation. Here's a quick tip video when you're going around and doing outside the ship on your excursions or even just wandering around port. In your purse or wallet, have the contact information of the cruise ship you're on in case anything happens. You don't want to be calling, where you buy and book your tickets to try and tell the ship that we were, the bus was just in an accident and we're going to be 10 minutes late. You want to have the exact number and contact. You can get that usually from the website. If you can't, you can get it on the ship for sure. You can ask them what the contact information is. They'll give you a little piece of paper or a card and you'll have it with you. And if anything happens at all, you can contact them. A lot easier than trying to find it through the phone book, shall we say. Number 7, pretty simple one, travel insurance. If you're traveling without insurance, you're just rolling the dice on possibly going bankrupt. And I mean that because I just saw somebody have a $140,000 evacuation. That's right, $140,000. Do you have that? I don't have that. But this person had insurance and they had that. So yes, it can absolutely bankrupt you. So please, always, always have insurance. You don't want to be in a foreign country, have no insurance, and then them asking you to pay $6,000, $7,000, $8,000, $9,000, $10,000 in advance before they even look at you, because that happens as well. So please have travel insurance. Next is book your activities as soon as you can. Sometimes you can book certain entertainment on ships ahead of time, especially if it's like pay entertainment. You have to, it's going to be a little show on board, it's going to cost you $35 and this is there in a certain venue. You can book those early online sometimes. If you want some specialty dining, you can book some of them early online. Not only is it usually cheaper to do that, but it guarantees you that you can do it on the ship. A lot of places you can't. And then when you do get on the ship, if it's one of those ships like Royal Caribbean, for instance, Norwegian Cruise Line, for instance, where you have to, the larger ships, that you have to book your entertainment ahead of time, when you do get on the ship, do it immediately. book immediately because they can sell out. And then you have to go in standby line and hope to find a seat somewhere instead of having the seat that maybe you wanted to sit in. Not only that, if you want some kind of specialty event like a chef's table. Well, some cruise lines, you can't book a chef's table till you step foot on the ship. And then you can book it. And some people don't even know ships have chef's tables. So always call down, ask if they have these, and then you can book it. Book it as early as possible. Number 9, double tipping. Here's a tip. Speaking of double tipping, on my last cruise, there was an automatic 20% gratuity per day. 20% now. That's no small buckets, right? That's a lot of money when you're talking, you know, if your cabin's $200, you're tipping $40 a day extra. That's a lot, right? And so, do you tip again after that? I know all of the money doesn't go to your room steward, but it can also compare to how much they're already charging you as a gratuity, because it's added on, you know, basically 20% more for your cruise. And you're not necessarily tipping the individuals you want it to tip to. Not only that, if you go to the bar and you order a drink, you can get 18 to 21% charge in gratuities for them pouring you a drink and handing it to you. 18% pour a drink, hand it to you for every single person coming to the bar. And then a lot of people feel obligated to tip to, you know, $1, $2, sometimes $5. I don't know if you have to anymore. I mean, the gratuities have gotten so high and they're automatically charged, even if you have a drink package some cases. You think your drinks are free, and then at the end, you drunk 30 drinks on your cruise and you're getting a 18% charge for each drink at the going rate, not at the price that your drink package was, not 18% of the drink package, 18% of each individual drink. So yeah, be careful of double tipping, because gratuities have now gotten so high, and I'm not saying don't tip, I still tip, but I'm just saying beware of it. If you're cruising on a budget, that's one thing that, hey, double tipping might not be necessary. And finally, number 10, why not bring a universal plug? And what I mean by, you know, not necessarily one of the ones that just have, you know, North American outlets with some USBs in it and you can plug it in and now you have more outlets. I even mean bring a European plug on board, because almost every cruise ship you go on has a universal plug in there. So even if you're using the North American outlets and then you run out of one, well, you can use the other one with your converter and just plug in your plug anyway. It gives you extra outlets in your room without needing an extension cord or, you know, a big clunky plug in the wall that has multiple plugs in it. Or just bring one of those plugs. I used to travel with that. Now I travel with a small extension cord because I don't have as many devices as I used to have. And often, by the way, because I want to work in various places around my room or sit and watch my computer instead of watching the TV sometimes, I have a small extension cord that I bring with me, because sometimes the plugs are all the way on the other side of the room and there's no other plug in the stateroom. So that little extension cord is sometimes a godsend for me, because I can go sit on my bed or lie down on my bed and watch something on my computer as opposed to having to sit at the desk and do it. Well, those are some 10 things that I hope make your cruise just a little bit easier and a little bit better, and even save you some money, like the insurance tip for sure. Have travel insurance. Have travel insurance. Well, I hope you appreciate this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Want to see more tips, more tricks, more travel vlogs from around the world? Hit that subscribe button. Till next time, have yourself a safe and a great vacation.